We'll call this meeting to order. If you would stand with me for a moment of silence, then we'll have a pledge. In this moment of silence, if you would just remember all those that are less fortunate. We're in a sort of a terrible time in the country. Just watch out after each other, your neighbors, your family members that might be having troubles. It's good to see Mr. Walker back with us tonight. He's had some surgery and he's back with us. So just watch out for each other and just help each other as much as you can. Let's have our pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Miss Brown.
Here.
Mr. Griever.
Here.
Mr. Robinson.
Here.
Mr. Walker.
Here.
Mr. Long.
Here.
Miss Cruz. Here.
All right, item number 3, recognition of visitors, delegations, participation, Mountain City Elementary Student Spotlight.
I'm going to turn this over to Miss Gentry. It is her month to spotlight a student. We have Mr. Jaden Davis with us tonight.
This is Mr. Jaden Davis. We had a very difficult time as a staff choosing one student. We have a lot of really awesome students in our building. So we, as a staff, put all of our Citizenship Award winners in a hat and drew a name. And when we polled the teachers, we were told things like Jaden is very kind to his friends, he works really hard in class, and that he does a great job helping others. So we wanted to recognize Jaden for his hard work and being a model student for us. You want to stand on this side?
Yes, that will be perfect. Ready? Perfect.
Can I get one too, real quick?
Thank you.
What's for the curtain for you?
She definitely has.
She runs for it. All right, we have a presentation from Mr. Richard Church, TCAT.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I sat for 2 minutes before I'm up here to recognize the board and recognize the hard work of CTE. So first of all, I want whatever's in Jaden's bag. That's number one. Because it's gold plated and there's something good in there. I don't know what it is, but I'd like to know what's in there. Second thing, I want to recognize Ms. Gwen Widener, our dual enrollment coordinator, who's here with us tonight. Also Ms. Patricia Henderson, who is our, we've tagged her with many roles for Johnson County. Right now, if I put together our total numbers of students that are at the high school during the day, our night program, which I just left a great visit with, and then what we do at the prison in our correctional education program, we have about almost 300 students that reside in Johnson County. Whether they want to reside here or they're forced to reside here at the prison, they're in Johnson County. But that's big because those guys too are on the precipice of getting released, and they're getting training through us as well and the Tennessee Department of Corrections. So Patricia's up here. She pretty much manages everything we got going on in Johnson County. So we're thankful to be able to do that. So I visited the campus today and stayed about an hour with Timothy McClellan, our instructor at the night program, and the guys up there that are training. First of all, I want to thank them. As you mentioned, Mr. Chair, in this time, they donated over 40 cans of food to our food drive. If you've not seen social media, it's Church's Challenge. We're trying to we've got to replenish our own food stocks at our campuses, which they did. I said, make sure you hold enough back for what you need and only give me the excess, which Timothy and the guys did. But they did that, which I wasn't expecting by visiting them tonight. We looked at some facility concerns. Some are ours, and I made phone calls while I was there, and some are the school systems, and I made phone calls while I was there. So we have to make sure that everything works both ways, and it always does when I come to Johnson County and the relationship that we have. I want to say a great showing today. We hosted a counselor and CT lunch and learn today at our main campus in Elizabethton. Lisa Troop was there. All of the AIRS counselors were there, the new ones that have started this year, which is amazing for you all. We were happy to write a letter of support for that, and we're glad to see that it's coming to fruition. So they were all there today with us. And also, I just want to say, had it not been for Patricia and Lisa, with the work they've done with dual enrollment up there at the high school, we didn't have to send a team up this year to do the registration process, which we usually always do. And we're at 17 high schools throughout our 10 school system service area in 5 counties. And sometimes it's difficult. We have to kind of say, when can we get where we're going? Patricia and Lisa handled all of it to make sure that those registration processes were done. I want to especially recognize them for what they've done. So now to the recognition, and I've been up here several times to do this, which is a tribute to what we're able to do. So in the fall of 2025, TCAT Elizabethton has dual enrolled with Johnson County High School 209 students in programs of study between our administrative office technology, which is in their business classes, automotive, construction, building construction, criminal justice, industrial electricity, off-road diesel, which I was able to see how that project's going with adding on the space for the off-road diesel program, and in our medical assisting program, which also encompasses CNA. 200 students at the high school, 9 students at night, so 209 total students. So usually, even as a small school district, you all are up there. But then when you're looking at the likes of Kingsport City Schools, which has about 9,000 students, you're looking at the likes of Sullivan County Schools, which has about 8,000 students. Something came up this year in the Superintendent Study Council meeting. Michelle was there. I attend those as well on behalf of our institution. One of the smaller school system superintendents said, wait a minute, I can't compete with school systems that have 9,000 students. Can we look at the percentage of students that are dual enrolling with TCAT Elizabethton and opening those pathways for training? I took it to our leadership team, and Patricia and Gwen both sit on our leadership team, and our president, and overwhelmingly we said we should be recognizing all school systems that are making the effort. So tonight, you all are going to be recognized. You've been gold before with total enrollment, but that's before it kind of took off in some of the city school systems that have that huge enrollment numbers. So just to give you, for instance, Kingsport City Schools, the fall of this year, had 515 students dual enrolled with us. Well, that's getting near the size, within 100 or so of Johnson County High School. That's not possible. But what you do have is this. We want to recognize you all tonight for having the most students per capita, percentage-wise, dual enrolled with us. At an amazing 35% of the students at Johnson County High School are dual enrolled with us during one of those programs that we've aligned with those high school instructors and we offer credit for. That's remarkable. I want to say that. Congratulations to you all. And right now, Herbie, I know you love to have your picture taken the older that you get. But if you'll come up, and Michelle, if you'll come down, I'm going to also invite Gwen up here, our dual enrollment coordinator. And once again, for the 3rd year in a row I'm up here, I want to congratulate Johnson County Schools on being our gold level dual enrollment partners for percentage. Congratulations. Hats off to you all. This means a lot for these students. Round of applause for them.
There you gotta go.
It's good.
Hold on.
Got 3 cameras now.
Perfect, thank you. We'll have Dustin switch out the old one and put the new one up.
They keep coming. I love to keep bringing them. So thank you all.
And I
Thank
just
you.
want to say thank you to Richie and the people at TCAT. They work so great with our kids, and I know Richie. If you don't know, he's from here, so it's always good to have him come back here and just be able to do this.
And I have to say today, in a meeting in front of about 80 other people, I mean, I've been in meetings in front of a lot of people before, but in front of about 80 other people, Lisa Troop was talking and making comments, and she said Richie, and everybody in the room just turned.
They don't know him as Richie like
No.
we do.
And I just went, it's good. We're all good. We're all good. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank y'all. All right, Johnson County Parents Coalition.
Yes, I have one thing that I'd like to share. I was asked by several parents, they came together and wrote a letter, and they asked me to share it with you guys tonight. Okay, so the Johnson County Parents Coalition respectfully requests that the following statement be read to the board. At the last Parents Coalition meeting, clear guidelines were presented on how to address concerns within the school system, beginning with teachers, then principals, then finally administration if necessary. Recently, that process was put to the test, and it worked exactly as intended. Those involved were able to follow the proper steps, be heard respectfully at each level, and ultimately see the situation addressed. What makes this especially meaningful is that many of these individuals that were involved have, in the past, been among those who felt very critical about this administration, often because they felt as if their issues were not resolved, either in a timely manner or as transparent as they'd like. This experience has truly shifted that perspective. They were encouraged to see the administration's willingness to listen, verify facts, and take appropriate action. The way this matter was handled has strengthened confidence that this administration is genuinely coming together for everyone, ensuring that when concerns arise, voices will be heard and solutions will be pursued in a fair and thoughtful manner. There you go. You guys are doing a good job.
Well, we appreciate the support that you give us and giving out those steps.
Thank
I think that was very helpful, so
Yeah, I
thank
do
you.
too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. It does.
Is that all you have?
That's all we got.
You need to add anything? No? All right. Item number 4, Ms. Cruz.
All right, so good evening, everyone, and happy November. Can't believe that we've already reached this far in the school year, but I can definitely feel it. It's definitely pretty cold, and the leaves are falling. So for this month's questionnaire, I decided to ask our students, what are you thankful for? The main responses that I got were friends, my school, family, and all my pets. So I want to highlight some things that our high school has been doing, starting off with our Fellowship of Christian Athletes Fields of Faith. Over 60 students and adults attended. This was a student-led event, so we had students coming up, sharing devotions, getting to worship together, and ultimately going onto the field and praying for the upcoming school year. Our FFA has been very busy recently, preparing for some of our big sales. So if anyone does not know, we do have some beehives, which were given to us from the state. And so our students go out a couple of times a week to be able to go and help the bees. So recently we were able to, we got 38 pounds of honey. So we will be selling that very soon. And we were able to go ahead and plant a bunch of our poinsettias. So those will be for sale soon. Additionally, our horse judging team will be going down to Murfreesboro and competing in the state event on the 20th, so good luck to them. We had a very successful trunk or treat this year. We had so many people coming out. We want to thank everyone for coming out to support us, and thank you to all the students who either gave candy or came out and handed it out. Our robotics team kicked off their season at Sullivan East Middle School. We want to wish them a good luck this year. Our JCHS leadership team celebrated our amazing custodians on Custodian Appreciation Day. All of our students made posters and some little gifts that we were able to give out to all of them. Recently, our students have been able to go on multiple career field trips. So through our ARIS Foundation, students have been able to explore possible career options and institutions that they might want to consider going into. So here they got to go to King University and Northeast State Community College. Going to talk about some upcoming basketball. This is our boys basketball. They will be having away games on November 20th and on December 2nd and 9th, and they'll have a home game on December 5th. Next up is our Lady Longhorns. They will have away games on November 20th and 21st and December 2nd and 9th, and a home game on December 5th. We want everyone to remember some important dates coming up. Johnson County High School will be holding a fall ball. This will be on November 7th from 7 to 9 p.m. Tickets are $5 and will be on sale during lunches. Additionally, our National Honor Society will be having a food drive from November 10th to the 21st. The theme for this year is Longhorns teaming up against our community. We are needing some non-perishable items to be brought into the school. So, thank you.
Well, thank you. And if I remember right, your picture plastered all over Facebook for
Yes, sir, I did.
an award. Would you explain that, please?
Yes, so being a part of the FFA, we have a yearly convention. This year was the 98th convention, and Tennessee is able to send 14 delegates to be able to vote on things for the upcoming year and be able to set forth some bylaws. And so I was selected as one of those 14 delegates for this year.
For the national.
For the national, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Thank you. Item number 5, approval of the agenda. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve the agenda.
You have a motion to approve the agenda
I'll second it.
and a second. Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Graver,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
and Mr. Long.
Yes. Item number 6, consent agenda. Is there anything on there we need to pull off and look at separately? If not, I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion to approve
I'll second it.
and a second. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Graver,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
and Mr. Long.
Yes. Item number 7, discussion and possible termination of EMD MOU.
Yes, this was something that was asked that we bring this up at this meeting. We have had a contract with EMD, which is our telehealth, and we have not had a provider since March of this year. And I will say Angie Wills has worked diligently in contact with EMD weekly. When are we getting a provider? When are we getting a provider? And it's always like, we're interviewing next week. We're interviewing next week. And we still do not have a provider. So, we think this is a great service, not only for our students, but also for our staff. And it's just sad that we can't provide that right now. And, if the board chooses to go this way, our attorney, Mr. McCarty, will send a letter effective tomorrow to EMD saying we're terminating the contract because they have not met the requirements of their contract by not providing us a provider. And then we would start the process of putting an RFP, which is a request for proposal, out to see if we can get those services back in, because it is great for our employees and for our students. So it's definitely a needed service.
What's the most recent? Has anybody talked to them?
Angie emailed them, and she always copies me on it on Monday and said this is on the agenda, because they said 2 weeks ago they were interviewing 2 weeks ago. Still haven't heard from them. She emailed them Monday to say this is on the agenda. Would you like to be a part of the meeting? Have you hired someone yet? We've heard nothing.
Pleasure to the board.
Oh, I have a whole lot I want to say about this. We held EMD to the fire in March.
We did.
And we were very brutal and very blunt in what we expected from them as far as them performing their duties in the contract. And they haven't done it for 7 months. So for the final 2 months of the school year and the first 3 to start this one, our students and staff haven't had telehealth. Telehealth is a vital service to the school system, without question. And they have let us down and obviously have no intention of providing us a nurse practitioner. So if they do not want to perform the contractually obligated duties that they are expected to, I'm of the opinion this board needs to terminate that contract, and we need to move forward with an RFP so that we can find someone who does want to take care of our kids and staff.
I'm like Chad, back in March, when this first came up, we were very blunt in what we expected of them. And unfortunately, they've not been able to fulfill their obligations contractually. And I'm kind of the opinion, I don't think if we let this drag on, we will never have a nurse practitioner to be able to provide those services. So with that being said, I'm gonna make a motion that we move to authorize our board council to send written notice to EMD to terminate our memorandum of understanding that is listed under Exhibit B, section number B, subsection 5 of this memorandum.
Okay.
And I will second.
We do have a motion and a second for item 8. No, for item 7. Any further discussion or question?
How quickly do you think we can get an RFP put together and pushed out?
Ms. Bishop is working on that currently,
Okay.
and if this did pass, that we do terminate, and I am to email Mr. McCarty after the board meeting and let him know, and he will send the letter out first thing in the morning. So if this passes, I will let him know to go ahead and send that
Was it
out.
30 days or 60-day notice?
60 days.
So 60 days would put us into the first of the year.
Will we see them
We will see him next week.
next week?
Yes.
Yep.
Any further question? I know they weren't involved in that.
You all missed all that fun.
Yeah.
There was a barrel of nuggets, let me tell you.
Call roll, please.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Graver,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Long.
Yes.
I will let Mr. McCarty know as soon as the meeting's over.
Sounds good.
Item number 8, approve a 60-month rental contract with Cannon, Johnson County Vocational School.
Their copy machine has died. So, we do provide each school with a copy machine. That's something that comes out of your all's budget. So we're just asking for permission to, or approval of getting a new copy machine for the vocational school.
Be the same as it was before.
Yes.
All right.
I make a motion to get the vocational school new printer, copier.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second.
Me.
Any further discussion? Call roll, please.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Graver,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
and Mr. Long.
Yes. Item 9, 5-year plan update.
Yes, your update for this month is upon developing the annual budget, facility updates, repairs, and improvements will be a focus. Mr. Henley couldn't be here tonight, but he is working with several energy groups on some presentations to share with you all when we have the board retreat in the spring. Maybe some options to get our HVAC upgraded, some lighting system, and working with those to try to get us the best benefit. Since we're on this one, I thought I would go ahead and share facility upgrades since it goes
Okay.
along with it.
I was gonna
These
ask you
are-
about the windows.
Yeah, these are current and up to date. This is the Agriculture Center. This is the prep for the concrete apron and bumper posts. This is the steel roof framing has been installed, and this is the little building off of the welding shop at the CTE building. With the armory, this is the cosmetology area. It's coming along quite nicely.
Who's the contractor on that?
Construction Partners.
Okay.
This is the new corridor, the enclosure wall. I don't know if it won't work. But that little door right there is the door that goes into what will be the education part. The big door is what goes into the open space, correct, Mr. Adams? Yeah. This is the cosmetology HVAC unit ductwork,
Okay.
all brand new. Handicap parking, which is into the side as you drive in the building, which is on our side. This is the big multi-use room. So this is the main part of the armory.
The kitchen area is back.
The kitchen, it's back there. It's sort of where those rafters are.
To the right, yeah.
And then here's the windows. There's the new windows that have been installed. I know Miss Long couldn't be here, but they are so excited. She sent us a picture that day when they were there installing them. They look great.
They look fantastic.
They do.
Okay,
And this is what they look like opened.
completely done?
They are not completely done, Dustin. Do you? Oh, that's right.
They started, they've got the office done, the cafeteria, the library. They started kindergarten and first grade today. Got it, I think should have it done. So, should be pretty much on time, so they're moving right along, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a progress meeting Wednesday, and our next one is November 19th, and there's a possibility of being done before our next progress meeting.
Okay.
They're
Well, it's
going-
in 2 weeks.
They're going really well with it.
So that just, they look really, really nice.
Yeah.
Definitely much needed. Just thought I'd go ahead and share that since we were.
Been what was there to begin with.
Yeah. That's all I have.
All right. Approve Raptor Badge Alert subscription and Raptor Technology, the amount of $40,250.
This is something, and Herbie can explain in a little bit more depth if you have specific questions, but this is something we have looked at. We actually looked at last year prior to the hurricane hitting. And this is just an extra safety measure for our employees. And it's a button on, they'll have two badges. They have their badges that gets them in the door, and they'll have another badge that's got like a button. If you press it 3 times, that means there's a medical emergency. I need a nurse, I need EMS. If you press it 7 times or just keep pressing, that means there's something going on in my classroom. I need help immediately. You know, anything dealing with safety, we just want to take every
Sure.
precaution in the world. Herbie, do you have anything? Yeah, and this is discounted from the original price that they had gave us, so, and it will be coming out of the safety grant. We highly recommend it, and this is something we feel like is
Well, I mean, any,
beneficial for our staff.
anything to do with safety of the kids or the staff, I don't question.
Spare no expense.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions? Your motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Got a
I'll
motion
second
on-
it.
Got a motion on the floor to approve and a second. Any further discussion or questions? Call the roll, please.
Miss Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Graver,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
and Mr. Long.
Yes. Item number 11, discussion of the Armory with the following options to choose. Authorization of the transmittal of the proposed Armory deed alignment given to the county mayor. The option to request long-term lease with the county.
This was something that I know Mr. Chairman had asked me to look into with the deed and to reach out to the attorneys with the fact that our name is not on the deed for the Armory. And this just gives you 2 options, whether you'd rather propose a deed alignment or request a long-term lease. And I know Mr. Robinson has more information on that. Just whichever option y'all want us to do, we will do. But we do feel like it's important to make sure that we have a say in our building. I know that's something very
Yeah.
important to you.
With just a little bit of explanation for that. I got to thinking about that, and the more I thought about it, the more it bothered me a little bit with 10 years from now, with the people that are involved with it now are not there. Something happening, and our name not there, and they say, well, you know, you've got no claim there, you know, and you leave, you can leave. And that worries me, because we've got as much, as far as money, we've got as much money in it as the county does. So I feel like we should have a claim to it somehow, legally. And that's the only thing I have. But that's the only thing that worries me, is not having a legal binding claim.
You want to go first?
One of the issues that may come up, and we'll have to get some legal counsel on the county side. When the Department of Military proposed the sale of the building and the acreage to the county, it was stipulated that the county had to retain ownership of the building, that it could not be sold and or anything like that, because if not, the military department would have the right to come back and ask the county to pay the full market value of that property, rather than the negotiated amount that was negotiated to be able to buy the property. So that's one thing that's a little quirky, and in the day job, as the chief financial officer of this county, I've had discussions with the county mayor that we do have to come up with some kind of agreement between us and the school system. And one thing that I've pitched out, and again, we'll have to get legal counsel involved on both sides, do a long-term lease, similar to, in reference to like the lease that the county has with E911 for the use of their building the election commissions in. Do a long-term lease, and then develop what's called an intergovernmental agreement from both parties that would basically spell out what the school system would be providing, because one of the things that the counties would be concerned about is the cost of security, and that's more of an issue on our side as opposed to the county side. But also in that agreement, it would spell out about how we handle custodial, how who's responsible for the maintenance and the upkeep of the building, those who's responsible for paying the utilities, those things like that would be in the intergovernmental agreement. And I've pitched this both to the mayor and to the county attorney, and they're both saying that's something that's probably feasible that we need to do, not just with this building, but also do it with the meat processing facility.
Right.
Because again, we're in a situation, the county's gonna own the building, and the reason the building is there is for the school system to use it as an instructional purpose. But also, we still have to come up with some kind of terms of agreement as far as, we're leasing it to the school system to use, as well as intergovernmental agreement that spells out exactly who's responsible for what.
Yeah, I just, because there's been times there's county executive around that, so you can't have it anymore.
Well, and that was one of the reasons we've been sort of having these back discussions already, especially from the county side, that as we get closer to that anticipation date of both facilities opening, that we need to iron out exactly whose responsibilities what, who's going to do what, as well as we need to give, and I made this comment from the school board side, the school system needs some kind of security to know that, 5 years from now, you're going to say, no, you're out.
Right.
And I said, we need to have that safety net, because one, it becomes an instructional environment to us, but also to make sure that we've got the continuity that we need, that we don't have to worry about, whether or not, just because we have a change in county leadership, does that mean that the school systems can no longer have access to
Right,
these
every
buildings?
4 years, we're not gonna want to have to guess whether we're gonna
Have access to the building.
right.
So, some of this discussion's going on already on our side. When I say our side, I'm talking the county side.
Right. And, I knew, you got your day job is one of the reasons that we started this without I tried to keep.
I know. It gets a little precarious sometimes.
Right. So we've already talked to our attorney, and did you ask him about the lease part of it?
I asked him about the lease. I didn't ask him about an intergovernmental
Okay.
agreement, because that was, but I mean, he just, in his terms, I just don't love the idea of both parties paying and only one party owning. And his fear is that it would be much cleaner if both parties converted that into actual ownership, rather than both sides pay something the board never truly owns.
But like he said, but we still have to.
But that was just the lease part.
Yeah.
I didn't ask about the
We still have to figure out the stipulations of who's going to pay how much of the utilities and how much of the cleaning
And those are things that we do need to iron out as we get closer.
Is he going to have his office down there?
There's been discussion,
It's listed on the blueprint.
It's listed on the blueprints, and there's some discussion that he wants to move his offices administratively down there. One, the court system is in such dire need of space, and it's just not feasible right now with the $15 million bond referendum hanging over the county's head to do hurricane repairs, that we could enter in, it's just not feasible, one, to borrow the money right now, and then we get into an issue, we don't have the real estate to be able to expand the current courthouse. And one of the things that the county mayor thought, well, if we could move the administrative offices out of that, then that would free up space for court systems use, both, especially downstairs. So that's sort of what the plan is right now. The administrative offices will move down there, as well as a couple others that are scattered throughout the building.
Take his notes and ask those.
From this side, I really think we as a board have a valid argument that, yes, our name needs to be on the deed. I agree with that 100%. I'm just concerned that we may, in order to do that, we may have to jump through some hoops with the military department to make sure that they have no problem with that.
I don't think we will.
Honestly, I
And
don't
here's
think we will
why.
either.
The school system and the county agreed to purchase the property as a cooperative partnership. Now, if there was some sort of a contract that was signed at some point prior to the deed being executed, which I have here, there's no restrictive covenants included in the deed itself.
Because actually, I looked today.
And there's no contract which was recorded with it. So just like in your day job, you do what you do. In mine, I deal with deeds. So for there to be some sort of a restrictive covenant, it would need to be included in the deed itself.
And I noticed it's not there.
And it's not there. So the whole thing is, there is an issue in ownership as far as who has an equitable interest and, who has title, which is what the legal record is. The school system contributed half of the purchase price with the intent of being the co-owner, so it does hold an equitable ownership trust. That's not debatable. What they have is essentially not included us in the process as far as the ownership. So the whole thing as far as the, what they told us we need, or told the county they need to agree to, I'm not of the opinion would be an issue as far as a quick claim deed with the county bringing us onto it. The thing that worries me is there's a whole lot of ways that you could fix this with a declaratory judgment action, reparation deed, imposing a resulting or constructive trust, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the quick claim deed is just the easiest. And the reason I don't like the lease, anybody can break a lease.
True.
Anybody can break a lease.
True.
So we've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in this project and contributed an exact equal amount of the purchase price as the county. But the school system doesn't sit on the deed. And as far as costs and expenses, and maybe this is just, shade tree accountant taking a look at it, just divide by 2. Just split it down the middle. Take the electric bill, split it.
And
Water
I'll be
bill,
real honest
split it.
with you, looking at what the operational costs are going to be of that building, that will be a benefit to the county to have help with those utilities.
Because I do think that you have a really, really hard time if you're figuring out how much electricity is the mayor's office using and the lights running in the shared community space versus how much electricity are 28 hairdryers using. That would be, unless you want to put in 15 million meters, but then you're just
Because we're
overcomplicating.
gonna have to heat and cool the building.
Yeah.
The whole building.
So to me, the reason I think the quick claim deed is the logical move is it's the easiest. And then just as far as ongoing costs and expenses, just divide by 2 and split everything down the middle.
I agree with that, especially looking at the armory, because the fact it's going to be a monster as far as utilities are concerned. It's going to be a monster. Now, meat processing facility, I kind of look at that a little bit different.
I don't think the school system needs to be on that.
I think a lease or an intergovernmental agreement with that will be
Because
suffice.
that's a different animal as far as the
Herb,
county paid
what
for
do you
that.
think about the meat processing? What do you think about the meat processing? Do we need to have our name on it?
I think it's 2 separate critters because we don't have any money invested in the meat shop.
Exactly.
Okay, it's just gonna be a teaching opportunity.
It will. I think it'd be a good idea to have an agreement with the county saying, you know, we can use it, but the way that building's built, that's about all it can be used for.
It can be very useful.
And in that case, your intergovernmental agency agreement is perfect.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a
Y'all-
motion,
Go ahead.
Well,
I was gonna see if y'all wanted to
y'all wanna add, or,
throw down on
and
this
this is
part.
another one of those things, and I apologize, this is another one of those things that happened prior to your, actually, about the time, I think it happened, we found out about it, I think the night that you voted them on, I believe.
I think so.
Wasn't you explaining it to them?
I believe so.
I believe it was the night y'all, at least one of you were voted on. Or maybe, but no, you voted on the same night. So I think this happened, we found out about the night y'all were voted on. And you were sort of in the dark. And it was one of those things that you really didn't know anything about. But,
well, I've asked my questions and got answers, and I think that, having her name on the deed's the way to go. And I think dividing the two's the way to go on the utilities and stuff, and it's pretty simple. In my eyes, anyway.
Y'all can learn to just throw water bottles at us and tell us shut up, because we got kind of used to talking so much for about 4 months.
okay,
Since we have two choices,
yeah,
did reach out to find out with Robert rules. A member offers a motion containing which case would be an option, and then when you vote, you have to say, I vote for option 1, I vote for option 2. Because we have two choices.
I don't know how to make the motion on it. I guess make a motion on the,
Says member offers a motion containing a blank, which in your case would be an option. The recommendation to fill in the blank already exists, so that would be repeated to the board. Debate can occur. Vote on the option, each member could vote on their preference. The option receiving majority vote. I guess the way I read that, and you all tell me if you read that wrong,
you'd have to.
I think you'd have to have, somebody would make a motion for option 1, somebody would make a motion for
Whatever's
option
on the
2.
attachment, whatever's written on the attachment, I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Got
that's
the
right.
attachment.
So option 1 is the quick deed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Well, I'll
think
make a motion for the option, for the quick deed, 1.
Is it option 1?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's an option 1. Option 1. Is that what?
So
it
do
is?
we need
Yeah.
to second that?
Yeah.
Well, I will second.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second for option 1. Any further discussion?
So if we don't have a motion or a second for option 2, do we even need to include option 2 in the? Okay.
I don't, the way I read it, no.
No?
Okay.
No, that's from Ben.
Because you would have the offsetting motion, then you would choose, but if you don't
Yeah,
have.
but if we only have one motion,
If you only have one motion, and that motion passes,
Okay.
it's passed.
It's a little bit of a new one.
yeah, that's why we.
Any further discussion?
Well, that's all right. I'm gonna put a twist here in a minute anyway.
Call roll, please.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Graver,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
I'm recusing myself from this vote because I feel it will be a conflict of interest since I will be involved on the county side to make sure that this falls into place.
Good call.
What's yours?
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
and Mr. Long.
Yes. I was gonna suggest that.
I'd already thought of it.
Very smart move.
Yeah, very smart. Okay, I will, get the letter to the mayor, because Chris wrote all that for us, so I have all that ready.
Okay.
And he's back in the office tomorrow.
Now, will that go on, I guess that'll have to go on there?
Yeah.
Which would be next,
Next.
Week after.
If you can get
when
them,
do I have to get it to him?
he's back in the office tomorrow.
Okay.
And you've got time because they're still on their normal schedule, so
Yeah.
they'll be week after,
Yeah,
whereas we
we'll
would
still be
normally be
weekend.
next
I'll
week.
I have you trust, but I'll get Herbie to run that over to him in the morning.
Or I've already talked to him. He's got to come see me because I need some stuff signed.
Okay,
And he's aware that this may
Yeah.
be coming. So.
okay.
Discussion and approval of, I can't say that, Opus Omnia Partners.
I'm going to turn that one over to Tina.
Okay, so Omnia Partners is just a co-op, and Opus is just a division of Omnia that allows purchasing items that we're purchasing currently at Amazon. This offers us another option. Like central office and the schools are doing a lot of purchasing from Amazon right now. It is convenient, the prices are good, but Omnia reaches out also and, you know, takes bids, quotes. They have tons of items that you can purchase. And it's in the same line as Amazon, but it also offers us another opportunity to purchase and possibly at lower prices for a lot of items.
Have you talked to anybody else that uses it?
Denise is actually our purchasing agent. Denise, she's actually the one that sat in on the meeting. And she's the one that heard the sales pitch and all that, and she was very open to it, because it doesn't cost us anything, and still our bookkeepers could look at Amazon and they could sign into the Opus. So I haven't, but I would be happy to reach out to some of the other finance directors in the region and see if they are taking this.
I was just curious. I didn't know if it was one of the.
I do know that she was impressed with it. I mean, she seemed pretty impressed with it, so.
So there's no cost, we're just essentially authorizing
No,
you to
it just
put
allows
another
us
tool in the
oppor-
toolbox.
Yes, it just allows us another option.
Okay. Any further questions for Tina?
Make a motion to approve the use of Opus.
Got a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Any further discussion or question? Call the roll, please.
Miss Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Graver?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
And Mr. Long?
Yes. Just go ahead and let you finish talking.
Okay. The school department at the end of October was 19.4% revenue received and 21.3% of appropriations expended in the general purpose school fund, 4.1% revenue received and 25.6% of appropriations expended in federal projects, 9.8% revenue received and 30.5% of appropriations expended in central cafeteria. And Head Start, the fiscal year project was 21.8% revenue received and 36.4% of appropriations expended. If you notice, we do have a lot, we're kind of really below on the revenue received with the federal project side. That money is flowing, it's just flowing rather slowly. Like there was one I requested September 25th, it was finally approved at the end of October. The funds from September came in later in October. We checked Edison just to make sure that it was still flowing. Mr. Robinson and I, we kind of took a look at that, talked about it. So we do seem to be continuing to receive funds. They're just flowing very slowly. The TSW, which is the Transition School to Work, they have reached out to say they only have funding for October and November. So, and if the shutdown continues, but that is the only grant or the only funding pot that has reached out to say, you know, we are kind of in trouble, so.
You know, and Kevin pointed something out to me, and I'm just gonna make a comment. Everybody will look at the sales tax numbers here for July, August, and September. Look at the dramatic increase that's there, and that's an increase that we're seeing countywide.
Sales tax for the month of September were $190,376, and that was up $66,203 from the same time last year.
And I'm gonna tell you, that's what the impact of a half cent on the sales tax rate.
It really
does.
did make a difference.
It has made a difference.
The half cent was there. That's just,
But
that's getting it back.
that was the catch, getting it back.
Getting it back does. Wow.
So for those of you at home, what they're talking about, in July of last year, we took in $125,000 in sales tax. This year, $189,000. Last year in August, 131,000. This year, 195,000. Last year in September, 132,000. This year, 198,000. That's huge.
Sure is.
That is huge.
And we'll have the numbers for October here in about a week.
And that was money that was just staying in Nashville.
Because there was no
That
obligation to send it back.
That difference stayed in Nashville, yes.
We helped to fund the 1.5 billion in the rainy day fund.
Yeah. Got anything else? Any questions for Tina? All right, we don't have any public comments. Director's report.
Just want to say happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans and thank you for serving. And we will be closed on Tuesday. Schools will be closing on our Veterans Day. The December board meeting has been moved from Thursday to Tuesday. It's the same week, but it'll just be on Tuesday, December the 9th instead of that Thursday. I do want to thank everybody that came out to trunk or treat. Like Joey said, we had almost 800 trick-or-treaters. So it was a great night. It was so good seeing all the family members out and seeing the little trick-or-treaters and dressed up. So we enjoyed that night so much. So just thank you all for that. And we won't see each other before Thanksgiving, so I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday with their family. And then we'll be in TSBA Nashville next week. So,
Hey, Ed, you have anything?
oh, and welcome back. We
Thank
missed you.
No, I'm good. Thank you, everybody, for the job you do. Keep up the good work.
Paul?
I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving and keep up the good work too.
Kevin?
3, the first two will be quick. I hope everybody has an awesome Thanksgiving and a huge thank you to our veterans for everything that they've sacrificed for this country and everything that they do. And now, she can dodge a camera, but she can't dodge words. I would like to say a huge thank you to Mrs. Ward for the awesome job she does as secretary. I drive her nuts with some things, and she is fantastic about when I'm covered up at work, dropping my packet off. And a board is only as good as the people who help it function. And both you and Mrs. Warren did a fantastic job with that. Y'all are appreciated. Thank you. Couldn't get away from that, could you?
She's ready now.
Have Emma snap some pictures.
Yes.
I just thought I would let the board know, I did attend by virtually the first TLN meeting, which is Tennessee Legislative Network meeting.
They're actually really interesting.
They
aren't
are interesting. They sort of got down a rabbit hole on a few things, but I thought I'd just point out some of the things that Nathan brought up. There's some carryover legislation that we'll probably see pop up again in this upcoming session. One of those being the Capital Projects Trust, which was something that's been talked about as far as setting aside a trust for money to be invested to help with capital projects and improvements in the future. It's not been heard in the Senate committees yet. He expects that to happen. There was a lot of discussion about Senate Bill 614, House Bill 348, which is a carryover about maintenance of effort changes. Really doesn't impact us because, one, we're meeting maintenance of effort, and the county's doing its part. But there are several systems across the state are struggling, not meeting maintenance of effort, and there's a bill that would put some other mechanisms in place to make that occur. That's a carryover from last year as well. Another one is the lotteries that are from educational purposes. That's something else that he expects to see pop back up in this next legislative session. Basically, it's passed through the state and local government committee in the House, and it's sitting in the Finance, Ways and Means Committee in the House, and it's got to go through the full process in the Senate. So we'll probably see some more about that. This is one that they really talked about a whole lot. Senate Bill 679, House Bill 401, special aid pre-K, and the fact that right now the state does not fund any special ed pre-K, and there's a lot of discussion about at some point making that a mechanism as part of the TISA formula. So we'll probably see a whole lot more with that in the upcoming legislative session.
Especially with everything going on at the federal level
Yes,
with the
especially
Department
with
of
everything
Education.
at the federal level. And then he did bring up some topics that will probably resurface in 2026. One is there's evidently some discussion among some of the legislatures about putting some TSSAA legislation into law that kindly restricts some of their use, their movements and things like that. A lot of this is coming out of Memphis and Shelby County. He suspects that we'll probably see some legislation that pertains to undocumented students in the upcoming legislation session. We're also going to see probably some more legislation about prohibiting dues paid to certain associations, aka TSS, TAA. He also, there has been some movement, not just with school board election recall, but also about any recall of any elected official in Tennessee, that we'll probably see some bills about recall bills. There was a lot of discussion about public schools, virtual public schools legislation, and he does expect to see the governor propose another expansion in the voucher bill. So there's going to be quite a bit that's going to be kind of interesting once the legislature gets back in January to see how some of this stuff shakes out.
That Memphis Shelby thing's fascinating because they don't have a mechanism to recall.
No, they don't. They do not. But I just wanted to share that from our Zoom session.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next week is Director's Appreciation Week, and we have a pretty good director, so I think she needs to be recognized for all the hard work she does
As
for the
always.
school system, so thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
You don't go
I was
unnoticed.
hoping that you remember that. But thank you so much. I have a great team. I have a great team.
Everybody done? As always, y'all do a great job. We appreciate you. Don't say it enough. I try to say it every month, try to say it every time I see you. As always, just keep up the good work. We've got a lot of good kids out there. Y'all see them every day. You see them more than we do. So just watch out for them. Take care of them for us. Anybody have anything else? I need a motion.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Have a motion to adjourn.
I second that.
Second. We're adjourned.